Freddie Johnson, aka Freddie's Blades, aka DJ Doxology. Just wanted to take some time out to share some wisdom with new fathers. As we in the barbershop. So these are some of the things that we talk about, some of the discussions that we have when we're in here. And what I strive to do when I'm talking to young men is to basically do what we can do to keep the conversation positive. It's not a whole lot of, negativity. It's not a whole lot of, woe was me type of conversations or anything that would make you have a different attitude on your way home, but actually to place you in a position where, you realize how blessed you are. You realize how fortunate you are. You realize even somewhat more so the responsibility that is on you, not only to your child, but also to your child's mother, whether she be your wife, whether she be your girlfriend, your fiance. But it's very important that we make sure that we're doing everything we can to secure the family. Because one thing I learned about the man is actually not necessarily at the top, even though we are the head. But when we understand the proper mindset of true leadership, the man is actually at the bottom. We are the foundation that holds everything up and keeps everything together. Now, if we look at recent history, there's a lot that would disagree based on what they see from, contemporary male behavior. However, I'm speaking to what it's supposed to be. I'm speaking to how things need to be realigned in order for us to be able to lock in this family the way it's supposed to be, so that we can be able to have healthier relationships, healthier families, thus lead to healthier neighborhoods, healthier society, and hopefully a healthier world. But first and foremost, I want to say congratulations. All right. This is something that is definitely a high honor. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and back up to the beginning, as if you first showed me the ultrasound picture. And we're talking about some of the changes that are currently taking place in your life and the life of your child's mother as well. And, one of the things that is spoken about often is the fact that you might see a change in attitude. You might see some mood swings. You might see some change, in her diet. And in some cases, I've heard interesting stories. I mean, whether it is that, 1 minute she's happy, the next minute she's crying, the next minute she's yelling at you, the next minute she wants you to hold her. Just understand that she's not crazy, okay? She's going through changes in her body. And she has a whole nother human being sharing her body with her. And for the most part, when we have to have these conversations, because it's happening for the first time. And in some cases, we may even still be having this conversation on a second or third pregnancy, because one thing that we know, that there is no two pregnancies alike. They're all different. You understand what I'm saying? So as a man, it's important that you understand that it's our job, like I said, to be the foundation. And if you are to be the foundation, you are to be solid, and you are to love unconditionally. Okay. So what do I mean when I'm saying that? Okay. When she, gets into that space where it seems like she has an attitude for nothing, and you might think that she's just, going off on a tangent or spazzing or things of that nature, it's important for you to keep in mind what's taking place. Understand that, she may not be herself. Now, there's some women that may not go through these changes. Everything may be happy and hunky-dory and, everything's sweet. But in a lot of situations, it's not necessarily, all the time. It's especially in the first trimester. So she may be having morning sickness. She might have been a go-getter, but going through this, mornings might be hard for her. Just trying to, get everything together, get herself together. She might still be working or still be trying to conduct a business and doing everything that she can to, please customers and things of that nature, and still out in the world doing everything she has to do, and it's a lot harder for her at this point. And then she has to come home and she has to deal with you. Okay. One of the things that you want to make sure you do, and if you're already doing it, this is cool, but you might also want to do it more often. Call her and text her, check on her to see how she's doing. It's very easy, from what I've seen and what I've heard. I was pretty much raised by women, and just giving you a little background for myself. I have 5 children. I have a set of twins, boy and a girl, and I have 2 girls after that, and after that, my youngest is my son. My oldest, the twins are 25 at the time of this recording, and my youngest son, he is 11 years old. Okay, so these are things that I've had experience with. Okay, so it's very important, like I said, to check on her on a regular basis, see how she's doing, because she could very well feel like, while she's going through this, very well feel like she is alone. She is the only one that is dealing with this, that she is the only one that is carrying this, and she's looking at you, and you looking regular, or you might still be in the gym, and you know what I'm saying, you got your pecs tight, you got your biceps, triceps tight, you got your 6-pack going on, you know what I mean? You got the striations shown in the muscles of your thighs and your calves, and you know what I'm saying, you're doing your thing. Or you could be in a position where you might have copycat cravings, as they call it, and you're eating whenever she's eating, and then you might have cravings for other things, and you might find yourself in a position you might be gaining a little weight, but she's still looking at you like you don't have to carry what she's carrying. You're not going through what she's going through, and she may feel like she's going through this by herself. So it's best to step it up. Everything that you were doing before, step it up on another level, to do everything you can to make her feel special, to make her feel like a queen. Like I said, call her more, text her more, check on her, see how she's doing. If there's something that she needs, help her out. Even if it's in the middle of the night, she got a craving for, some ice cream and some Doritos or something like that. It's good to go ahead and to help her out. You know what I'm saying? To go ahead and to look out for her, because she may be in a position where, that store run or whatever might be comfort for her, right? That thing that you're doing for her means so much to her. You understand what I'm saying? So it'll place you in a position where, you are you're learning her on a whole nother level. And so as you're doing these things for her, she's going to love you so much more. You understand what I'm saying? And so, those things that you're doing for her, all right, that's awesome. That's awesome. 7 months with the girl, it's amazing. And so as you're doing these things, she's going to feel comforted. She's going to feel like you're there with her. She's going to feel like, she's not there alone as much or by herself. You understand what I'm saying? So if she does go through some changes and she's looking at the situation like she's by herself and she's feeling some kind of way, do everything you can to understand what she's going through. The main thing I would tell you to do is to listen. I'm saying all this to say, listen, 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 listen. That's another reason why I'm telling you to call her more, text her more, check on her, see how she's doing. There's an opportunity for her to communicate with you on what she's going through at that time. And it'll give you an opportunity to listen, so you'll know what to do. You'll know what she needs. Now, sometimes she might just need that sounding board. She might just need somebody to talk, or she might just need to talk to you specifically. It may not always necessarily be needing somebody to talk to. She may want to talk to you because you are the father. And so she's sharing this experience with you, and you're sharing this experience with her. So with that, man, she wants to talk about it. She wants to share how she's feeling, the changes that she's going through, whether they're good or they're bad. Her nose might be spreading, her ankles might be spreading, she might be gaining weight or she might be losing weight. Because in that first trimester, she might be throwing up every day and trying to eat and not being able to keep everything down. And she might want to talk to you about all of these things, you know, in the morning before she leaves for work, if she's working, in the afternoon, if she's going through it because she has a craving for something, and if she knows if she eats that something, she might not keep it down, so she's trying to make a decision. So she's coming to you to ask what I should do. Should I go ahead and should I get it or should I not? Because I really don't feel like messing up this outfit. This is my favorite outfit, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to throw up all over it or whatever. Or she might just not want to feel that way, but she wants to enjoy this meal. So, you know, go ahead and have the conversation with her. Don't be cold and be like, yo, just do what you want to do, whatever, you grown. No, just show some compassion. Slow down a little bit. Have some patience. You know what I'm saying? And have this conversation with her. Ask her, you know, well, what do you want more? You know what I'm saying? You want to go ahead and enjoy this meal, or you want to, you know, or is it more important for you to avoid throwing up or feeling sick afterwards? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is that you decide to do, I got you. Matter of fact, if you decide to go ahead and to order it, you know, give me a call. We'll talk about it, you know, or text me. Let me know how you're doing after you eat that meal, and just constantly reassure her, like, yo, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy that we're sharing this situation together, you know, we're sharing this life together, you know, I love you, so on and so forth. It's good to give her those words of comfort, those words of reassurance, those words of affirmation. Let her know that she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Let her know, because she's going through changes in her body. She may not feel that way because her clothes are not fitting, you know, the way they normally fit. She's not necessarily looking the way she may normally like to look. Like I said, she might have gained weight. She might have lost weight. So in some ways, she may not be happy, or she may be 100% ecstatic with the way that she looks because she loves her little belly bump. She might like the way, the fact that she's gaining weight. She might like the fact that she's losing weight. Either way, you still tell her, you know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, you feel like that anyway. So it's best to go ahead and communicate that. Let her know how beautiful she is. She needs to hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's going to take it like, oh, you're just saying that because you have to. No, mean it. Say it with your heart. Don't just say it with your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Connect emotionally with her as she's going through this. I'm telling you, your relationship is going to be so beautiful during that time and after if you do this right, okay? Now, let's talk about in an adverse situation. If she's going through changes to where, you know, she's a little short, she's snapping at you, you know, things of that nature. If she's, you know, got something negative to say about everything, you know, everything stinks, it's hot, it's cold, you know, why you wearing that cologne is making me sick, you know, so on and so forth. And it might be some other things that she's complaining about, like you might have left a sock on the floor doing laundry, you know what I'm saying? And she just goes ballistic over it, or things of that nature. Understand what she's going through, that she's going through changes. And the best way I can be able to say it in a way that we might be able to relate as men. Remember when you were going through your changes, when you were going through puberty, there's sometimes where the littlest thing will set you off, you know, and you might have done some things that you necessarily wasn't proud of. You might have punched or kicked some holes in the walls. You know, you might have, you know, started a fight here and there. You know what I'm saying? You might have, you know, threw something out the window at school and got suspended for it, you know, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? You were going through changes. There was times you probably, you know, felt like crying and didn't know why. You felt like crying at that time. There might be, you know, times where you were just super happy, super excited, ecstatic, and not really even understanding like why you're doing it. You might look back and like, man, I was goofy when I was going through those years. You know what I'm saying? So remember what you were going through and understand that she's going through that at that time, but it's a little more extreme. It's a little more intense. It's a little more serious. So don't allow yourself to get all in your feelings when, you know, you might find her being other than herself. Understand this may be the case. This may be, you know, how she's acting and how she's reacting and responding to what she's going through for a while. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily know how long this is going to take. This could even, take place a little bit after the pregnancy until everything pretty much gets back to normal. You know what I'm saying? But just understand, she's going to come back to herself. She loves you. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave. Don't trip. Don't do nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? You have to make sure that you're keeping your composure. You have to make sure that you're being that rock. You have to make sure that you are that man. Don't, like I said, don't get all in your feelings about it and start treating her funny and all different kind of stuff. Like, you ain't no female. You a man. You know what I mean? So you have to be, good at exercising, keeping your emotions in check. You have to be good at exercising, making sure that you're emotionally stable. You know what I'm saying? And there's things that that you can do to make sure you're doing that. It's good to stay out on your workout regimen. It's good to continue to if you're going to be around people, be around positive people. Don't be around anybody who's going to act like it's the end of the world, because now you got to go through this pregnancy with her, and they might see the certain things that she might be doing or saying, or whatever the case may be. And you're like, man, you don't got to go through that. You could just, shorty been eyeing you down the street and so on and so forth. You need to go by. No, go home. Go home. If you find yourself in a position where, she might be tripping a bit much, and you might have to, step out and go ahead and, get some fresh air, go for a walk, go for a ride, something like that. Don't stay away long. Don't stay away long. Because as you're going, she's gonna be thinking about you. She's gonna be thinking about the situation. She's gonna be missing you. So do what you have to do, without violating her, without violating yourself. Do what you have to do to breathe, woosah, do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Make it back home. Get back home. 9 times out of 10, what's gonna happen is she's gonna let you know how much she miss you. She's gonna be hugging you and kissing you. She's gonna want you to hold her, rub her feet, whatever. Do all that. Do all that. Everything that she needs for you to do. Even if she needs for you to run right back outside because she got a craving that just popped up. And you make sure if this happens, you hurry up and do it. Because if you take too long handling this business, I'm telling you, that craving may be over, and she's gonna get upset because you took too long in going to get this for her while she was having this craving. Here's why all of this is important, okay? Now, don't think now that she's pregnant that you got to be a slave and this and that. No, that's not what it's about. This is about the fact that she's sharing a brand new experience, okay, within herself, and she's sharing a brand new experience with you. And understand this too. Everything she feels, the baby feels. So you don't ever want to place her in a position where she's feeling stressed because of you. You understand what I'm saying? She's gone through enough. You don't want to place her in a position where she's feeling heartache or she's feeling abandoned or anything like that because of you. Now, it's one thing if she's having certain feelings just because of what she's going through, but you make sure that it's not just because of stuff that you're doing. Understand, you may be mama's baby, but you're not a baby anymore. It's time to man up. It's time to step up and do better and be better. It's time to be more consistent than you've ever been, more solid than you've ever been, because you want her to be healthy and you want this baby to be healthy. Like I said, what she feels, this baby's gonna feel. So she feeling loved, this baby's gonna feel loved. You know what I'm saying? She's feeling comforted and covered. That's gonna be transitioned and translated to the baby. And what you want to do as often as possible is spend time talking with her. Spend time talking with the baby. You know what I'm saying? What's amazing about that is when you're doing that on a consistent basis, by the time this baby is born, he or she is going to know your voice. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a beautiful thing. When you talk, the baby's going to be turning his or her head towards you because he or she knows your voice. They know that's daddy. I'm telling you, it's a powerful connection, because even though you didn't necessarily carry this child, you still did everything in your power to make sure you connected with your child. You connected with your baby. You know what I mean? And that connection, it works. It works and it's solid and it's great. I'm telling you. Now, on the other side of that, she's going to appreciate you so much more because of the fact that you connected with her baby. And it's y'all baby together, of course, but it's also a personal thing for her. So she's also going to love you and have that, adoration for you so much more. You understand what I'm saying? All of this, it makes everything come together real nicely for the family. So y'all can have an experience that's beautiful. There's crazy things going on all over this world. And you can make it like heaven at home if you're doing this right. I mean, even if you might be going through, her dealing with a little phase of, and some women go through this, the very sight of you, the very smell of you might disgust her. You know what I'm saying? So you still do what you can do to be there for her and give her space when she needs it, but not too much space. Because like I said, if you go disappearing and you go on for too long, it's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? She's going to feel abandoned. She's going to feel like you out there doing something crazy. So if she needs to have a little bit of space, give her space, stay in communication, and as soon as you can, man, get right back. The key to this is keeping everything tight, keeping everything together, keeping the communication tight, keeping the keeping the relationship, affectionate. You understand what I'm saying? Keeping the intimacy in a relationship. You know, there's some cases where, I mean, sexually she's gonna want you more, and there's some cases where sexually she's not going to be into it because of what she's going through. And there are a lot of women that, even though they're not feeling it, are going to go ahead and understand that that's a need of yours, and take care of that need, and don't take it personal. Like I said, if she ain't all the way with it, she's going through changes. And on the flip side, there's some cases where she gonna want it more. So give it to her. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that at the end of the day, she's getting what she needs. She gets what she needs, and make sure the baby is getting what he or she needs. So you got to be attentive. You got to pay attention to what's going on. It's not about you. Now, I'm not saying totally neglect yourself and not take care of yourself, but understand that she's priority and the baby is priority. You understand what I'm saying? So there may be things that you might have been used to doing. Playing video games all types of the day and night, going out and play ball, being out in the streets, whatever the case may be. That stuff is going to have to take a back seat. I'm keeping it real with you. It's going to have to take a back seat. And you're going to have to make sure you're doing everything possible to make sure that your lady, your wife, your fiance, and your child is straight. Make sure that they are good. You're doing what you need to do to be that foundation. Now, also, another thing that's good too is, maybe taking a pair of headphones and putting the headphones, on her stomach, and allowing the baby to listen to music. And the same thing happens in this case too. Like the child might be, you'll see the child will recognize certain songs, and that could, because those are the songs that you might have been playing, during the pregnancy, and another part of all of this is making sure that you're doing what you can do to provide for your family. Okay, now you might be working a job, or you might have a business and it's not bringing in enough. You got to step it up. You got to step it up. You got to figure it out. Figure out a way to bring in more money. Now, nowadays, there are way more opportunities to get it. There's Airbnbs, you can set up a business, an LLC, if you want to, start catering, or if you want to start, learning the credit game, and helping people learn how to build their credit. If you want to get into that, perfecting that in the coaching space. If you want to get into other types of real estate like wholesaling, or if you want to start a t-shirt business or anything like that, man, figure it out. Do what you got to do. You want to learn how to cut hair, I can help you with that. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up. 470-756-0086. All right, hit me up. I can help you in that area. You understand what I'm saying? Or even if you want to open up your own shop or whatever, I can help you with that too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's so many different ways that you can get it now. There's so many different ways that you can come up financially. You don't have to live in lack. This baby is going to come fast, and there's going to be needs that the child has. It's going to be needs that you have. It's going to be needs that, your wife or your girlfriend, your fiance has. You understand what I'm saying? So it's best to be mindful of where you are and to take the situation seriously. And you guys might have to sit down and have some tough conversations and figure out how you're going to balance everything out, because sometimes it might be a problem for her, for you to be at work all the time or whatever. So that's why I said tighten everything up, communicate, so you'll be able to make sure that you're doing what's necessary to be there for her and to be there for your child. And I'm talking about in every way, spiritually, financially, emotionally. It's important too that, y'all pray together, take some time to take it to God, because sometimes this situation can feel overwhelming, and when I say overwhelming, I'm not just, talking about in a negative way. It could be overwhelming sometimes in a positive way also. There may have to be a lot of major decisions that you may have to make. Which hospital are we going to? What are we packing? As far as the bag is concerned, for the hospital, you definitely want to make sure you pack that bag, and you don't want to wait till the last minute. You pack that bag for that hospital run, for when she goes in labor, and make sure you have everything in there that she needs. If you got to write a list first and then pack the bag and then recheck the bag and make sure that everything on the list is in there. If there's anything in the bag that's perishable, make sure you're switching it out to make sure that everything that you have in there is fresh and ready to use when she needs it at the hospital. Make sure the bag is not underneath a whole lot of stuff, or in storage, or in the attic or the basement somewhere, but somewhere where you can grab it real quick when she goes into labor, so you'll be able to, have what she needs and have the baby needs, because that stuff is in the bag. So you don't want to have to go and run and get all that stuff later. I mean, there's so much to share about all this. It's an exciting time. It's a great time. We're stuttering. It's a great time because I'm just remembering back to when I was a young father. The twins were born when I was 21 years old. I was 21 years old when my twins were born, and for me, it was just such a blessing. And there were so many people that were telling me, "Oh, you got a boy and a girl. That's a rich family right there. Y'all need to stop." But kept on going, because I actually wanted to have 8 children like my grandparents. I saw how much in love they were, and so many great stories about, my mother growing up with so many siblings, and the house was just always, it was always electric. There were always, great things going on. It was never a dull moment. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to have that experience, to be in love like that, and to have a house full of children to be able to enjoy. And but God bless me with 5, and I'm happy, with my 5, and I also have 2 stepchildren. So, and they're grown, and I also have some grandkids by way of marriage as well, 4 grandchildren. So, I'm so happy, and I'm sharing this with you because I want for you to be happy. I want for you to be able to get the most out of this experience, because sometimes as men, we don't really get a chance to have these conversations. And you got a lot of men out here that feel like they're going through this alone. And feel free, of course, to like, to comment, to share this video. I would love to be able to continue this conversation. One good book that I read when my twins were on the way was What to Expect When You're Expecting. And you would see, where the fetus is at 2 weeks and 8 weeks and, first trimester, second trimester, where the development should be, when you should start feeling like flutters or maybe even seeing the movement from the outside. And it's just an awesome thing to behold, and it's an awesome thing to experience day and night. And it's just it's good to speak to people who have wisdom that are going to share things, what I'm saying, according to maybe even some of your family history, her family history. It's good to know if there are any possible medical concerns. You want to stay on top of that. You want to know, you know, maybe even some things about recessive and dormant genes in the family. Everybody else might have dark eyes, and the baby might be born with light eyes, and you and you looking, kind of side-eyed at her and at the child. And then a family member finally comes along and say, oh, that baby got eyes like Uncle Pete. Uncle Pete got eyes like that. That's my grandfather's brother. And you may not have ever met Uncle Pete. You know what I'm saying? And everybody like, oh, okay. So then you got this whole big sigh of relief, whereas before you're looking at her like, wait a minute, hold on. What's going on here? You understand what I'm saying? So it's good to have those conversations as well. So maybe even you might have something to expect. As far as, getting the names together, you want to make sure that this is also a good experience. This is something that you don't want to make an argument, but this is something that you want to keep. You want to keep as something that's pleasurable. You want to keep as something that's joyful when it comes to talking about. Excuse me. That's a telemarketer. When it comes to talking about the names, what you're going to name the child, the little boy, the little, try to do everything that you can to make it a great experience. A lot of times names come up based on family members. I want to, make the baby's first name my father's name, and give him my uncle's middle name, or so on and so forth, and nickname him my god brother's nickname, and so on and so forth. A lot of times we have sentimental reasons for giving our children these names, or wanting to give our children these names. And just do the best you can to understand the sensitivity of the situation, and to not let emotions flare or anything like that. Like I said, do everything you can to keep it a pleasant experience, because this is part of your family legacy. This is part of what's going to be your family history. And not only that, this is your life. This is your life. This is your life. This is her life. This is the baby's life. So it's good to make sure that you're doing what you can to keep everything emotionally solid. And she's going to appreciate you for that, because she's going to think back on times where she might have been way up, or she might have been way down, because sometimes she might be super excited and coming to you with all different types of baby clothes and toys and ideas for the baby shower, and routes for the delivery. And oh, that's another thing, you want to practice that route. Practice the route to the hospital. Even if you might have GPS and so on and so forth, practice the route every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Practice packing the car, drive to the hospital, go out for ice cream or something, or dinner or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Make a date, make a night out of it, make a date out of it, and come on back. And every now and then do it again. So that way it's going to be like second nature when it's finally that time, and her water breaks, and or whatever, she might have a scheduled C-section, and it's time to go. It's time to go. And another reason why it's important to pay attention, because of the fact that she may go through some changes that might raise concern, to where you might have to take her to the hospital. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, up the communication and pay very close attention, because she may go through something at some point where it's not just a I'm not feeling good today type of situation. She may be going through some medical stuff. Her blood pressure may be way up, or things of that nature, or it may be way down, or it's just good to know how she is, how things are going. When she has her doctor visits, you want to be there as much as you possibly can. If you can't, make sure y'all thoroughly communicate about the visit. Don't just be like, "Oh, how was the trip to the doctors?" And she's like, "Oh, it was okay." And then boom, you're talking about something else. What you want to eat? Or what you want to watch on Netflix? Like, nah. Make sure you're getting thorough information on what they talked about, what the recommendations were. How's her blood pressure? How's she feeling? What type of changes have been made? How big is the baby right now? If they did the ultrasound, let me see the pictures. So on and so forth. Where's the hands? Where's the feet? And explain this thing to me. I don't know what I'm looking at. Make sure you're having this conversation and be engaged, be involved in every step of the way. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a beautiful situation. It's going to be a beautiful situation. Take time, like I said earlier, man. Rub them feet. You know what I'm saying? Rub her back. My times she might want you to rub her booty. You know what I'm saying? Go on, rub that thing. You know what I mean? Go all in. Just do everything you can to make her feel special. Make her feel like a queen, because she is special. And she is a queen. And she needs to know that, especially during that period of time. She needs to feel that, especially during that period of time. She needs to feel your love. She needs to feel that you're attentive. She needs to feel that you're also excited about this, even though you might not be, doing backflips and all this different kind of stuff, wearing clown hats and dancing around the house, or maybe you will. But but she just needs to know that you're excited about this too, that you're engaged in this too, that you're in love with this family situation, as much as she is. And just keep everything joyful, keep everything happy. It's an exciting time, like I said. So it's very important that you do what's necessary to make sure that, like I said, her and the baby are good. Her and the baby are good. You are a king. Remember that. You are the king of the castle. She is a queen. And so you have to make sure that as a king, you are giving royal treatment to your queen, who deserves royal treatment. And you have a little prince or princess on the way that also deserves royal treatment. So make sure that's taking place. Make sure she's drinking enough water, which is huge. It's very important for her to stay hydrated, and make sure she's eating right as much as possible. Yeah, there's some cases where she's gonna want to snack, she's gonna want to eat junk and stuff like that, but make sure she's getting her proper nutrients. Make sure she's taking her vitamins. There's prenatal vitamins that she can be taking. Make sure she's doing that, and make sure that, because nowadays there are other factors in place that wasn't taking place, where my children were on their way and when they were born. And that is, we just got through dealing with a pandemic, and some say we still are in one, but, things have tapered off tremendously compared to how they were. But you want to make sure that you're doing everything to secure her, make sure that she's safe, and make sure the child is safe, and make sure that you're making wise decisions with who you choose to be around. Even dealing with people, if they have a common cold or stuff like that, stay away from them folks, because 9 times out of 10, her immune system is not what it was. And it's for a reason, because of the fact that if her immune system was still on 10, then her body would reject the baby. So her immune system, and you may know this, you may not, but her immune system takes a couple steps back, so that her body doesn't attack the child, that her body doesn't kill the child, because it's foreign compared to what the body is used to. So just know her immune system is not as strong as it normally is. So Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and you're staying away from people, you're staying away from people that are sick as much as possible. And if you are, you got to make sure you're taking the proper precautions, man. Wash your hands. If you have to wear your mask, wear your mask. And like I said, bottom line, stay in prayer. Do everything you can to protect your family. To protect your family. Make sure everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? So with that, man, if you are if you are in a place where it's pretty bad climate, because I'm from upstate New York, right? I live in Atlanta now, but I remember times where, it'll be in the middle of the winter and we might have to go to the doctor's office, or we're going out to eat or something like that. Man, be there big time to make sure she's not slipping or sliding in that snow or ice. I did a whole lot of, kneeling down and lacing up boots and tying up shoes, to make sure she was good. She had the proper ankle support, and also making sure, man, I was shoveling those stairs, shoveling the sidewalk. Don't just leave it up to the landlord to do it and get upset if he don't. If you got somewhere to go and the work is not done by the time y'all gotta leave, don't chance it and just be walking on that ice and stuff, man. Get up early if you have to. Get that shovel out, shovel them stairs, shovel that sidewalk all the way to where the car is. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you put that salt down, make sure she's nice and warm and, bundled up and laced up, and be right there with her. If you got to go out and warm up the car while she's getting ready, go on and do that. Scrape it off, stuff like that. Don't be doing that while she's coming down the stairs by herself or anything like that. Do everything you can to make sure you got all that stuff out the way so that you're right there with her, arm in arm, as you guys are, you're taking her down those stairs, you're taking her to that car, and make sure, if you wasn't doing it before, you want to start doing it. And if you were kind of sometimes doing it, you want to make sure you're more consistent with it. Open the door for her. Open the door for her. Let her get in. Close the door. Even if it's at a point where she might even be fussing at you. It don't matter, bro. You be that rock. Open that door. Be that gentleman. Be that king, regardless to whom or what. Be that king and treat her like that queen. I'm telling you. It's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit her. It's going to benefit the baby. It's going to benefit the family. Be that rock. Even if she fussing, you don't got to get the door. I get my own door. Man, go get that door. Get that door. She going in there. She might still be fussing. Boom, close that door. Go on. Take it where she need to go. You know what I'm saying? And she might even come to you later on. I'm sorry, I was so mean. Going through these changes sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or she just might just say, I'm sorry. Or she might not. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And everything's going to be straight. You do what you're supposed to do. You handle your business. You take care of her the best you can. And things are going to be all right. Like I said, there's so many other things we can discuss. One other major thing I would say is there's opposition that's going to try to creep up. And you got to make sure that stuff is not infiltrating your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because you might be in the middle of this whole blissful situation and everything seeming to be going well, and then all of a sudden an ex pops up in your DM, or you might run into her at the restaurant somewhere or something, or even at the hospital. Man, you make sure you shut that stuff down hard. You make sure you got your lady feeling like she is the only woman in the world at all times. If you have any family members, older siblings, or a parent that might be trying to be, controlling in a way and things of that nature, and try to take precedence over your pregnant spouse or girlfriend or fiance. You got to make sure that those people know that she is priority. And in some cases, she might need to hear you saying that to them. Because I'm telling you, I know people who have lost their women because they weren't holding it down and being a grown man with family members that were controlling. They didn't put that situation in check. And now, who would have probably end up being their wife is now just a baby mother who now is straight business between, her and her baby father. I don't want you to have to be in that position. So you make sure that folks are in check. If it's your mom that's stepping out of line, and you don't have to say it disrespectfully, say it respectfully, and make sure you're following through to make your queen feel like she is the queen. There has to be a separation, and there has to be a change in relationship when you are establishing your own family. You have to be the man. You have to be the king. For real, for real. You ain't no little boy no more. And that's another reason why it's time to step it up. Because guess what? If these family members are paying your bills, some of them don't know how to stay in their lane. Some of them don't know how to stay where they're supposed to stay while they're helping take care of you and your family. Hey, I'm paying these bills. I'm doing this, blah, blah. I'm going to need you here at this specific time. You're going to be here at this specific time. Nah, do what you got to do to make sure that you are the boss, to make sure that you are in control, to make sure that you are holding it down for you and your family. I'm telling you, it's serious. And understand that your family is going to need your time, because when the baby gets here, everything is going to change. When the baby gets here, now you have a whole nother person in the house. It changes the chemistry of the whole house. And we might have to have a whole separate conversation about this. But it changes the chemistry of the whole house. And it's important to make sure that, like I said, that communication is tight. It's going to have to be even tighter. Because now you got a whole nother person in the house that needs both of y'all. There's going to be diapers that need to be changed. There's going to be, some spit up, some drool. There's going to be, other needs all over the place. Baby clothes. The baby's going to be growing so fast. They might wear an outfit once or twice before they grow out of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to go get something else, and in the beginning, that child might be waking up every 2 hours. And your wife or your girlfriend, your baby mom, whatever, she's going to need your help. And don't think just because you working during the day or whatever that you don't have to get up at night with the baby. Nah, because she's been doing it all day long. And there's going to be times that she's going to be exhausted. So, you might have to skip some of that night sleep to make sure you're getting up once or twice, during that evening to make sure that baby has what he or she needs, if they're on a bottle or they breastfed, help out with that, help prop the baby up to the breast, with the latching and all of that. And so she won't have to get up and all this different kind of stuff. She could just sit up, lay there, probably even doze off a little bit, while the baby is nursing. You stay up, keep an eye on things, make sure everything's good. Once the baby's done nursing, boom, lay the baby back down. Might not even take long. Lay the baby back down. You can go lay back down, get your rest. Do what you have to do. Hold it down. She's gonna appreciate that. Trust me, she's gonna appreciate that. And you guys are gonna get closer. You guys are gonna get tighter, for real. And you need to stay there. You need to be there. Unfortunately, you're not going to be, I can't say unfortunately, but for them, I guess, the way they're going to feel, but you can't hang out with your boys as much. You're raising a family. It's a whole different responsibility. You might not be able to go ahead and do other social things as much, although there will be times you will be able to do it, because there's going to be times where somebody's going to want to babysit, auntie, godmother, grandparents, prayerfully y'all got grandparents on both sides, that would be able to help out with babysitting sometimes, whether y'all want to go out or maybe take some time to just go ahead and get a nap. We just go right back home and get some sleep, and then go pick up the baby in the morning or whatever. But, you do what you have to do to stay together. This is laying the foundation for your family and setting a precedence for your family. And we can go on about that too, but you're laying a foundation, you're setting a precedent for your family. And had I known all of this when my twins were born, I mean, there was a lot of this I had down, but there was a lot of it that I didn't have. I just didn't have that wisdom. I didn't have that experience, and I didn't have that level of insight. And even spiritually, I wasn't there, to be able to even share a lot of the things that I shared today, and some stuff was real rocky because of my immaturity. And there were some things that were great because of what I did understand. But you make sure that even when the child is little and going to those doctor visits, it's the same thing. Be there, man. Be there. Don't just let her come and try to describe everything to you, because it's not the same. It's not going to be the same. I know by experience. It's a whole different experience actually being there and then or not being able to be there because you have to work or everything, and you hearing her, describe how the visit went, because there's things that you experience from the time that you walk in the door. Looking at all the other children that are there, you're seeing who's who, the nurses, the doctors, the administrators, those who are helping out, paperwork, things of that nature. You're in there, you're seeing, you're smelling, all over the place. You're checking the whole environment to see what's going on in there, and in the doctor visit, you're seeing how cold or how warm that room is and how the baby is responding to the temperature of the room. Because 9 times out of 10, they got to take everything off down to their pamper, and waiting for the doctor to be able to go back in and do the checkup, and you're having your conversations about what's going on. You might remember to say some things during that visit that she might not remember to say. There might be questions that you have for the doctor, and there might be some things that you wrote down, some things that you didn't. And then what you may end up having to do is, kind of like trying to get in contact with the doctor to get some questions answered or whatever. And you might have to go through their secretary or something like that and finally get the answer back, which, if you were just there and you remembered the questions that needed to be asked or the conversation that needed to be had, then you'd have gotten all of your information that you needed right then and there and been able to go on and take action on that right away. There's so much, and it's beautiful. Deciding on the child's education, deciding on, godparents and summer visits, when the child gets older, and so many different things. But it's such a beautiful, like I said, it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful life, but it's so important to get involved, and it's so important to get together and to set goals as a family. And this is one thing that I wasn't good at. But it is very good to set goals as a family. Where do we want to be as a family in next year or in the next 5 years, the next 10 years? And let's come together and come up with some strategies. And if we have to sit down and get wisdom from somebody who knows better, let us sit down with that individual or those individuals, come up with that game plan, and let's follow through on that game plan. That's going to be something that's going to bless everybody. What's up, brother AJ? But that's going to be something that is going to bless everybody. Let's set up a goal for the family. And what's going to happen is the family is going to be growing together. Mom and dad are going to be growing together, along with the child. And then also you'll be so much more prepared when the second child comes. Why? Because you've already set up a culture for your family. You've already set up a system for your family, and things that probably didn't work in the past. You made your tweaks and you did all these different type of things. So you're so much more prepared, and understand too, this second pregnancy is maybe going to be nothing like the first. It's probably going to be nothing like the first. So then, but there's certain foundational things that don't change. So you have those foundational things in place, and then you stay ready for any possible changes. But even with those changes, it's not going to be as drastic as the change of never going through this before and now going through this for the first time. You're going to have like some notches under your belt. You're going to have some experience. In some ways, you're going to kind of be a veteran. So you're going to be able to handle things a little bit better. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're setting those goals as a family, then you'll be able to set your spiritual goals, your financial goals, your relationship goals. If you're married, you can be setting a goal on, renew. Oh, hey, in 5 years, we want to renew our vows, and we want the child to be the ring bearer or the flower girl. You know what I'm saying? And we just want to make this a great family thing, or we want to set this goal to go on our first family vacation. And make sure that you're budgeting, financially for it, so you're not breaking yourself, you're not taking yourself away from, your regular financial plan that you have as a family, and so things can flow smoothly. This is a conversation that I don't often hear. I don't often hear people having these conversations. Maybe some families do, but I haven't heard it. But these type of things are going to be able to help us stay together. If we're having some issues, if we're having some things that need to be ironed out, hey, let's go and get counseling. If your lady is going through postpartum depression, make sure she's getting the help that she's getting. Don't just say, oh, before she got pregnant, she was cool, and now she changed, she tripping, she different. Now I'm done with her, because she was probably just playing the game, just trying to get pregnant, and now that I done heard this crazy stuff. Now that she done got pregnant, that she just had her baby, she want to switch up on people, blah, blah, blah. No, that could just be some natural changes that she had gone through. But you're being insensitive to what she had gone through. And now, this child is going to have to grow up in two separate households, and nobody really wants to go through that. You know what I'm saying? So do everything you can to, if things get rocky, man, get some help and do what you need to do to keep things together. Keep things together. I'm telling you from experience. That's a mistake that I made. It's one of the mistakes that I made, was making sure that we didn't do everything necessary to stay together and just do it at the end of the day. Even if it was still a little rocky, just do it. Just stay together. Yes, I love my children. I'm here for my children. I'm available for my children as their father. However, man, stuff is different. It's different when daddy's not home, right? Or it's different if mommy's the one that leaves and mommy's not home. There's a hole. There's a space. Not to say that, you're not going to be okay, she's not going to be okay, the child's not going to be okay. No, I'm just saying we need to do more to make sure that we keep the family together. And these type of things that I've shared in this video is going to make a world of a difference. And then some, while she's pregnant, hey, sometimes you might be able to prep some things, find out what she's normally craving and have it available, things of that nature. Man, another thing that I did was hot baths, draw a bath for her. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes even in the tub, give her a nice massage, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Light a candle or two, maybe aroma candle, something that she likes, a fragrance that she likes. Go on ahead and afterwards, man, lotion her up. Take care of her, man. It's a beautiful time. Take care of her. Take care of her. Because I'm going to tell you, a woman is an incubator. What you give to her, she's going to give back 10 times over. Multiplied. I should say it, put it that way. What you give to her, she's going to give back multiplied. So you take care of her, and I'm not saying this will be your motivation. Do it because you're supposed to do it. Do it because you love her. But you take care of her, she's going to take care of you. She's going to take care of you. You give her a hard time, you don't want to know what's gonna come back. So just do right. Just do right. I'm saying you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. But if you're a young father and you don't know a lot of what to do, things of that nature, man, seek wisdom. Seek wisdom. Don't take knowledge or advice from knuckleheads that you know is going to tell you something crazy. Nah, man, you don't got to, deal with that, man. Just come with us to the strip club. Talk to somebody with some wisdom. That's going to help you with some advice. It's going to help your family stay happy and stay together. And you know who those people are. You know what I'm saying? Make sure also that you're reading. You're reading, you're growing. Make sure you're praying. Make sure you're doing what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to do something, make sure you're doing everything in your power to keep that promise or to keep those promises. Because if you do too much of that, breaking your promise, she's not going to trust you. And then as a baby is growing up, you breaking your promises, that little boy or that little girl is not going to trust what you say. You saw Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. So we want to make sure that we're keeping our word to our family, and do what you can to make sure that you're growing. Work on yourself, invest on yourself, take classes, go to workshops, if there's other information, webinars, stuff like that. If there's other information, read books, whatever information you can get your hands on in order to be able to learn and to grow so you can be the father that you need to be and that you can be able to nurture your relationship at every phase of the relationship, that you can nurture your child at every phase of his or her development so that they can be the future king or queen that they were born to be, and that the family will have a firm foundation and the family will have a strong sense of direction and a strong sense of identity as a family so that you'll be able to stay together as a family, pray together as a family, live together, grow together, laugh together, journey together, vacation together, grow old together, mature together, love together, laugh together as a family. As a family. So work hard, pray hard, play hard. And I'm excited to hear some good news. So like I said before, leave in the comments if you got anything you'd like to share. Definitely share this video with a young father who needs to hear, some of these things. Like I said, it's an exciting time. It's a good time. Don't allow yourself to get stressed out, have a whole headache about the situation or anything like that because you don't know what to do or whatever, man. Seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. And work what you learn. Okay? It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Once again, congratulations. Congratulations. Hold it down. All right? Definitely. And hold it up. Hold your family up as the foundation. Hold your family up. And make sure you're doing everything you can to stay solid. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your physical health. Take care of your spiritual health because your family's going to need you to stay strong. And so the precedents that you set, you have to keep in mind also in this last thing. It's not only for the generation that you're in, but also for generations to come because grandchildren are coming, great-grandchildren are coming, and so on and so forth. So you got to make sure that even if your father wasn't there, your grandfather wasn't there for your father, your great-grandfather wasn't there for your grandfather, that everything stops with you. Everything changes with you, that you're going to be there for your family. You're going to be there for your children, regardless to whom or what. It can change with you. It can stop with you. Things can shift with you, and you have to make that determined decision in your mind that that's exactly what's going to happen, and do everything within your power to make sure that that's exactly what takes place, and you shall be victorious. We are more than conquerors through Christ who loves us. This is what I believe, and this is what I'm sharing. So being more than a conqueror means not only that you conquer, but you help others to conquer as well. So I hope I said something that helped somebody. And like I said, man, leave some comments, man. Let's talk about this. This could be an ongoing conversation for the next 20 years, just off of this one YouTube video right here. And I may share another one sometime soon on the same subject. Because like I said, these are some of the things that we talk about in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? So why not? All right. So let's keep it positive, man. And let's keep it peaceful. And let's keep it prosperous. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be at peace. Love y'all.